In this video, I'll teach you the procedure to generate an output from a completed AutoCAD project. From AutoCAD, you can generate an output in the hard copy or in the soft copy format. Hard copy means you can generate an output in a paper, and in soft copy, you generate an output as an electronic file. Taking an output from AutoCAD is called plot out or print out, and hence you can use the command plot or print interchangeably to generate an output from a drawing file. So in AutoCAD, you can stick to various methods to give this plot command. You can either type the letter plot at the keyboard or print at the keyboard. So the software will ask you whether you want to go for a batch plot. We will see batch plotting after some time. Then you go to continue with a single sheet, and hence you will get the plot dialog box. Alternatively, you can key in Ctrl P to get the same dialog box. Or else, click on the application button. Here you have a print menu, which will result in a number of submenus. You can plot a drawing, you can go for a batch plot, and you can go for a page setup and things like that. You can also click on the print icon at the quick access toolbar to generate a plot out or a printout from a drawing. You can also right click at the model tab. Here you have a plot option with which you can go for a plot. Likewise, you can stick to any of these methods to generate a plot of an existing drawing file. Now I would like to plot this figure, so I'll click on the application button and I'll select print, then click on the plot. Here you will get the plot dialog box. You can specify a page setup here. Page setup is nothing but a set of settings which is specified by the user. We have to basically specify 5 settings in this dialog box. The first one is the printer. You should choose a printer. By default, it is set at none. You can either choose a hardware printer if it is connected to your computer. Here Samsung printer is presently connected to this computer. That is why it has shown this particular printer driver. And when you select this, you will get the various paper sizes supported by this printer. Now you can see the commonly used paper sizes such as A4, legal, letter, envelope, etc. I'll select A4. This is the case with the hardware printer, but you can also print to an electronic file. For example, along with AutoCAD software, we have DWG to PDF printing option available. When you select this option, you will see a number of paper sizes which are commonly used for printing in ISO as well as in ANSI standards. You can choose any of this paper, or else you have options like published web in JPEG format. This is basically used to mail your drawing file. Or else you can go for PNG format. This is again another image file format. Then you also have an option called DWF, which is called drawing web format, in which your drawing file can be opened using a web browser like Internet Explorer. And the latest format of DWF is called DWFX ePlot format. We'll see that after some time. Now I would like to go for the hardware printer. Next, we have to define the area to be printed. Now we have options like display, in which the entire display will get printed as such. You can go for drawing extents. Drawing extent is defined as imaginary rectangle which can hardly accommodate the object. That particular area will get printed. Now if you go for drawing limits, whatever is within the limits will get printed. But the most commonly used one is called the window option, in which you can define the area to be printed using a window by picking 2 opposite corner points like this. But here you can see that certain area will get cropped if you make use of this window. The software communicates this information by displaying the area that is likely to get cropped using red lines. So the solution is we can center the plot. Now that red line disappeared. You should also specify a scale. But if you go for fit to paper, your drawing will get well accommodated within the bounds of the paper. But if you disable this, you can specify any standard paper sizes. Next, you can just preview your drawing file. So this is how it will appear once you get printed. But you can see that here everything is shown in black and white. That is because this printer is a monochrome laser printer. So it will show you the actual print preview. Next, I'll change the printer to DWG to PDF. That means we will be generating the output to a PDF file. Now you can just go for a preview. After selecting the center, the plot, and the scale is set at fit to paper. Now let's preview the print. Now the area to be plotted, I'll choose using a window option and I'll pick these two opposite corner points to define a window. Next, I'll go for preview, and you can see the objects in color because PDF printer supports color. Now over here, there is an option to specify plot style table. Using a style table, you can define various properties of objects in your drawing such as color, line type, line weight, etc. Here the style table files are having an extension of CTB. CTB stands for color style table. Now let me choose acat.ctb as the current style table file. Now it will ask, do you want to assign the same plot style table to the layouts? No. Now you can edit the style table by clicking on this icon. Now you can see colors starting from 1 to 255. Now each object in this drawing drawn with a particular color can be shown with the specified properties. For example, I want all the objects which are drawn in a red color to be displayed in, say, blue color in the print. Now all the red colored objects will be printed in blue color. Let's save and close it, and let's go for a preview. Now you can see that all the windows and doors which were originally drawn in red color will be plotted with blue color in the print. Now I'll just edit the style table again. Now I'll bring the color to use object color. That means objects will be plotted with the real object color. Now I would like to go for color 7, which is white. Now for that, I'll assign a line weight. In fact, I have used white color to draw wall lines. Now, I want the wall lines to be displayed little thick. So I'll assign 0.6 mm thickness for those objects which are drawn with white color, that is color 7. Let's save and close, and let's go for a preview. Now when you zoom in, you can see that the wall lines are shown as thick lines because the color in which the wall is drawn is assigned a line weight of 0.6 mm. Even if the color number 7 is assigned for the black color, in fact this particular number is used to indicate the white color in the drawing. So likewise, you can go for 255 options. It is as if you draw with a plotter having 255 pens. So each color can be assigned a specific property. So that is the advantage of going for a plot style table. If you want, you can create a new style table your own so that you won't be tampering the existing style tables. For that, you can go to new option. You can start from the scratch, then click on next, and you can give a name. I'll just call it as my style. Then you go to plot style table editor. Here you can specify all the required parameters. Suppose I want all the wall lines to be drawn with a line weight of 0.6, that can be specified here. And I want all the red colored lines to be displayed in, say, a blue color. Then I'll click on save and close, and I'll click on finish. Now you can see that you have created a new style table with the name mystyle.ctb. It's a color dependent style table. Now you can just preview it to see the changes appearing. So likewise, you can create a style table of your own in which you can clearly specify the properties that are to be assigned for each and every object in your drawing drawn with a particular color. And hence the CTB file is purely based on color. These options are generally used to print 3D objects. And over here we have an option called plot in the background, which will let you plot your drawing in the background, whereas you can do some other work in AutoCAD. This will reduce the performance of the software to some extent. So only when it is really required, you need to go for it. Then plot object in line weights. If you click, the object will be plotted with the line weights. Plot with the plot style, only if it is enabled, you will see the result of the plot styles applied to the objects on your drawing. Now plot stamp, when you click, you will see a plot stamp appearing, which will indicate the drawing name, the date and time and device name and things like that. Then you can very well plot your drawing in the portrait or landscape mode so that you can go for a maximum utilization of the area in the paper. Okay, when you click on apply to layout, all these changes will be applied to the layout. Now we have specified a number of settings right from printer to scale to create this printout. But all these settings can be saved as a page setup so that next time you want to take a print, you don't have to manually set all these parameters, but instead all you have to do is you can just restore that page setup which was saved beforehand. So I would like to demonstrate it in the layout because generally printing from paper space is preferred than printing from model space. So I'll cancel this print and I'll go to layout, click on this layout. Now we already have a viewport here. Now I'll just right click and I'll go to Page Setup Manager. Now you can see an asterisk here, which is an indication that no page setup is being assigned to this particular layout. So I'll just click on New and I'll give a page setup name as A4 size paper, because I want my first print to be taken in an A4 size paper. And I'll give OK. Next you will get the same dialog box which we have seen before, and I want to generate a print using the Samsung printer. The maximum paper size supported by this printer is A4. That will appear automatically, and if you want you can go for a lower size. Then I want to plot the layout as such. Then you can assign the scale. Presently it is set at 1:1. I would like to provide a style table. You can see some preset style tables here. If you select monochrome, your entire drawing will be printed in monochrome or black and white, no matter which all colors you have used for the objects, because that's a preset here. Now you can go for paper orientation. It can be portrait or landscape. And let's preview the drawing. So this is how it will appear. Everything in black and white. In the preview, you can see the white line plotted with a higher thickness because we have altered it already. When you select white, it is plotted with 0.6 mm thickness. Now I'll give OK. Next, I want to apply this particular page setup which you have created just now to the active layout, which is layout 1. So all you have to do is select the page setup which you have created and click on Set Current. Now you will see the layout within brackets A4 size, which means that for this particular paper space tab, this page setup manager is applied, and you will see the change happening here. Now this sheet which you see now corresponds to an A4 size paper. I'll also rename this layout as A4 paper to get a better understanding. So right click here and click on Rename. Next, I'll right click this layout and I'll rename this as PDF out, and I want to create a PDF print of the second layout. I'll call it as PDF out. Select this paper space tab, right click and go to Page Setup Manager, and you can see PDF out here. So I'll again go to New. I'll call this as PDF out. For this I want the printer to be DWG to PDF. I would like to give a paper size of ISO A3. And I want to print the layout as such. I would like to give a scale of 1:1. Then you can give a ACAD.CTB as the style table, because I want to plot in colors. So these are the parameters which I have defined. Now you can just give OK. Now PDF out is the present page setup manager. Now I want to apply this page setup manager to this particular paper space tab. So all you have to do is you select the page setup manager and click on Set Current. Now it is applied to the current tab. Now just give close. Next, I'll create a new paper space tab by clicking on this plus sign, and it is called Layout 1. You can rename it later as per the requirement. Now I'll just click on the new paper space tab, and here I can either right click and go to Page Setup Manager, and I can create a new page setup if that is required. But in this case, I don't want to do that. But instead, I would like to assign a page setup which was already created while printing this particular layout. So what I'll do is I'll go to Print command. When you click at the page setup pop-up, you will see all the page setup which you have created beforehand, and I would like to apply this A4 size page setup to this particular layout. Just click on that. The moment you click here, you will see all the associated settings appearing at the respective locations. Like the printer is Samsung printer, the paper size is A4, and I'm plotting the layout, and I'm using 1:1 scale, and the plot style table is monochrome.ctb. So you don't have to individually assign these settings, but instead all the settings will be applied in one go. So that is the advantage of creating a page setup. And I'll give OK. Instead of creating a paper-based printout, you can also generate printouts in the soft copy format from AutoCAD. For that, I'll give the plot command. Then instead of selecting the printer, you can go for formats such as PDF, which we have already seen. Alternatively, you can also try out DWF format. DWF stands for Drawing Web Format. Now we have two DWF formats in AutoCAD. One is DWF6, which is an older format, then DWFX format, which is the latest format. So I'll just click on DWF, then I'll select the area to be plotted using a window. I'll choose ACAD.CTB as the style table, and I'll take a preview. And I'll give OK. Now it will ask you for a file name. I'll keep it on the desktop. And the file name is houseplan a4paper.dwf. I'll save it. Now you can this is that particular file which I've created just now, and you can open it using Windows Explorer. or you can also open it using Internet Explorer. Once you open it using Windows Explorer, you can zoom to any desired levels, and this is basically a vector format. That means even if you magnify the drawing, it won't lose its clarity. Once you send a file in the DWF format, the advantage is that the other person will be able to open that file without using AutoCAD, simply by using the Windows Explorer. Similarly, you can also plot a file in JPEG and PNG formats. You can print more than one sheets at a time. That is done using the publish command. So you can type publish using the keyboard. You will get the Publish Manager dialog box. Alternatively, you can click on Application button. Here you have a Publish command and click on that. You will get the same Publish Manager. In this dialog box, by default, you will see the current drawing in the model space as well as all the paper space tabs which you have created. Along with this, I also want to add some more drawings to be printed. So I'll click on this plus sign, which is Add Sheets button, and I'll go to Desktop. Over here, some drawing files are listed, out of which I would like to plot the Computer Lab file, Plan 1 and Plan 2. You can just hold down the Control key and select any desired file that is to be plotted and click on Select. You will see the model space as well as the paper space tabs related with all these files appearing. Now these files are displayed in a particular order and printed in the same order. Now if you want, you can change the order of these files by selecting a desired file, and you can just click on this particular sign. It is called Move Up Sheet. It will be moved upwards. You can remove any desired file by clicking on this Remove Sheets button, and this sheet sets can be saved in a particular name. Once you save a sheet set file, it can be opened and restored later. And you can give number of copies here. You can publish this file to a plotter or to DWF or DWFX or to the PDF. And after that, you can just click on Publish. So that is the use of the Publish command, which will let you print more than one drawings at a time.